I can't tell anyone, but when you're in the midst of silence, don't you feel a sense of relief? In lively places, it feels like your spirit is being worn down, and only when you're at home can you truly be yourself. That isn't escapism. Rather, that is precisely the voice of your soul. Instead of forcing yourself to go out and interact just to fit in with those around you, opening a book in a quiet room, slowly drinking tea by the window, those actions deeply heal you. However, modern society is different. Speed efficiency results. Going out and socializing is seen as the right way to live, while staying at home is easily misunderstood as laziness or being a shut-in. Haven't you also felt guilty about it at some point? Have you ever been overwhelmed by the feeling that your peacefulness is being denied? Wondering, is it really okay to stay like this? But Carl Jung said truth lies not in the outer world, but in the inner world. I want you to reflect once again on these words for your sake right now. The desire you feel to stay at home is neither laziness nor cowardice. It is the first step on your soul's journey toward truth. In today's script, for those like you, we will carefully unravel 6 psychological truths hidden within people who like to stay at home from the perspective of Jungian psychology. What is spoken of here is not merely a personality analysis. It is a story to help you discover your inner strength without being swept away by the extroverted world. How many of these 6 signs have you felt? Please share them in the comment section below. Let's resonate with companions who feel the same. If you are someone who feels true peace in quietude, why not subscribe to this channel, Wealthpsy, and walk this journey with us? The true nature of the inner impulse. The impulse you feel to stay at home. It is neither coincidence nor whim. Truth 1. Your energy flows inward. The essence of introversion. Carl Jung clearly defined 2 directions of personality, introversion and extroversion. According to him, those who absorb stimulation from the outer world and radiate energy outward are extroverts. Conversely, those who direct energy inward, think deeply, and quietly feel are introverts. This difference is not just personality, but a fundamental pattern of how libido, the life energy, flows. For the introverted person, true activity occurs within. C.G. Jung, from Psychological Types, if you feel drained in noise and feel restored in silence, that is clear evidence that you are introverted. However, society praises extroversion, being lively, well-connected, and active. For someone like you who finds value in quietness, you may be labeled as strange, unsocial, or gloomy, but that is a mistake. Jung says introversion is a natural desire of the soul to turn toward the self. The sense you feel of wanting to shut yourself in is the optimal path your soul has chosen to connect with your inner universe. Truth 2. You are selective and sensitive to external stimuli. Have you not felt this, that crowds make you unusually exhausted? The noise of shopping malls, the chatter in cafes, the expressions, presences, and atmospheres of others. They all rush in at once, and you feel as though you're being swallowed by a flood of sensations. This isn't neurosis or illness. Rather, it's proof that your soul is open. You might be someone who feels too much. But that is not weakness. It's richness. Hyun was saying, sensitivity means that the boundary with the unconscious is thin. C.G. Jung, you unconsciously pick up on subtle changes that others don't even notice and process them deeply. That's why a quiet space is essential for you. Your nerves are constantly receiving signals from the world. That's why silence becomes your only regeneration device. If you don't realize this and keep pushing yourself, you'll end up wearing yourself down from overstimulation. Breathing alone in a quiet room, that is your place to return to. Truth 3. You are not fulfilled by superficial matters. Haven't you ever felt this? That even when you're talking to someone, some part of your heart remains empty. Talking about the weather, recent trends, or last night's TV doesn't satisfy your heart. That's because you seek depth. What matters to you are essential conversations, genuine empathy, and relationships where souls resonate with each other. The human soul dies amidst meaningless repetition. C.G. Jung, unconsciously, you sense discomfort and emptiness in meaningless time or shallow connections. That's because your sensibility wants to accept only what is authentic. That is why spending time at home quietly facing yourself brings irreplaceable richness. It's not that going outside is bad. It's just that for you, true fulfillment doesn't exist outside, but deep inside. Your soul is saying this now. Please look deeper. When you respond to that voice, you will find a deep connection even within solitude. In the next chapter, we'll clarify why the choice to stay at home is deeply connected to the Jungian journey of individuation. Sacred solitude, called individuation, placing yourself in silence, thinking without being interrupted by anyone, and sensing the waves of your emotions. That time is not merely rest. It is the beginning of the journey of individuation, where the depths of the soul begin to move. Truth 4. You are responding to the process of individuation. Individuation, proposed by Carl Jung, is the internal journey a person undertakes to truly become themselves. It is the process of stepping back from values imposed by society, ideals desired by one's family, expectations from others, and cultural frameworks to reunite with your original self. Individuation is a movement toward the center of the self, a process of peeling off the mask. C.G. Jung, from the ego and the unconscious. The impulse you feel to stay at home is a sign that this process has already begun. That's because, unless you create distance from the external noise, you cannot listen to your real feelings, essence, or innate emotions. In days spent playing roles outside your true self, ends up losing its voice. The choice to stay at home is an act of stepping away from others' gazes to shine a light on your very existence. This is not escapism, but integration. What emotions have I been avoiding? What thoughts have I sealed away? Whose expectations have I been trying to live up to? Holding these questions and facing them quietly and alone encourages the maturation of the soul. The loneliness you feel now is the silence before a new self is born. It's not to hear someone else's voice, but to prepare to hear your own. Spending time at home is a cave for the soul, a sacred space to meet not others, but yourself. Truth 5. You have a strong connection with your inner universe. When you spend a long time alone, do you ever suddenly feel this? Even though I'm doing nothing, I feel fulfilled. This is not satisfaction from external stimulation, but deep fulfillment obtained through connection with the inner universe, the unconscious. In Jungian psychology, not only the conscious, but also the unconscious is considered to play a major role in personality formation. And the time spent at home, the time immersed in silence, is a precious moment when the unconscious speaks to you. Unless we cooperate with the unconscious, life remains superficial. C.G. Jung, you may not be aware of it, but that sense of security you feel at home, that spark of creativity that arises, that state of mind slowly opening, all of that is brought forth through dialogue with the unconscious. For example, during an idle moment of reading, do you ever suddenly recall a memory from long ago? That's not coincidence. It's your unconscious letting you know. This is the very moment to remember this. Or when listening to quiet music, have you ever shed tears that couldn't be explained in words? That too is the result of a voice from the depths of your soul flowing out, a voice that cannot be conveyed through words. This sensitivity to accept such moments is a privilege possessed only by those who love silence. The home for you is a sacred inner sanctuary. Only there can you become a circuit that connects the world and the unconscious. Truth 6. You cherish your own time and rhythm. Modern society demands speed. Give an answer quickly. Be more efficient. Always be productive. These values constantly press upon us. But your soul says, "This I want to walk at my own pace." That is not laziness. It is rather a sign of deep intelligence and intuition. Me, Philippi, the one who digs deeply must move slowly. C.G. Jung. You already know it, that when rushing you can't see what truly matters. The time to wake slowly in the morning. The space to reflect in an unscheduled afternoon. The joy of immersing yourself in reading or creation at your own pace. All of these are rituals for the soul to recover and regain its original rhythm. Inside, you flows a rhythm different from others. Being true to that is the greatest sincerity, the act of not betraying yourself. To summarize, in every moment you feel, "I want to stay at home," the following 6 truths are inherent within. You possess the strength of introversion. Your sensitivity is delicate and open. You are unsatisfied by surface-level interactions. You are on the journey of individuation. You communicate daily with your inner universe. You know, your own rhythm. All of this is the power of silence within you. It is never a weakness. Rather, it is one of the most needed ways of living right now. In the next chapter, Mirror Shadow, we will explore why the outer world resists this way of living and how to face the shadow within it. The enemy of silence that you fear. Every time you seek silence and find peace in spending time at home, society shows discomfort with that choice. Why don't you go out more? It's more fun to hang out with everyone. You can't just stay cooped up all the time. How many times have you been hurt by such words? But pause and consider, why do they try to deny your silence? At its root lies a shadow they themselves don't want to see. People see in others the parts of themselves they have rejected. C.G. Jung. From here, we will clarify the structure of the external discomfort you face and the inner shadow, and delve into their deeper meanings. The shadow of action. Supremacy, projected by society. Modern society idealizes extroversion. Bright, sociable, lively, and active. Those who don't fit this model are often viewed as lacking. But this very value system is a fantasy designed to protect group safety rather than the individual. And it suppresses true human diversity. Your silence becomes a symbol of anxiety for them. Why? Because your presence mirrors the self who is suppressing their true nature in order to live. Mirror guilt. Question: are they really rejecting you? Or are they rejecting the voice of their own soul? Your decision to stay at home stimulates a hidden desire within them that says, "I really want to do that too." That's why they feel the need to deny it, justify it, and continue to say, "That's wrong." But this is not your fault. Rather, your very existence holds the power to illuminate the shadow they refuse to see, the shadow of self-denial, emerging from within. However, it's not only external denial that matters. Even more troubling is the shadow that lies within you. Haven't you heard voices like these whispering inside, "Maybe I'm just being lazy. Maybe I should be more social. What if I can't adapt to society like this?" These are internalized voices of society, the echoes of others' expectations dwelling in your unconscious. This voice commands you to live adaptively to preserve the ego, but it also chips away at your essence. The shadow is the part of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge. Carl Jung, from the structure of the psyche, to avoid being swallowed by this shadow, the first step is to recognize that the shadow exists. The guilt you feel, the fear of laziness, the anxiety of loneliness, those are the shadow speaking to you. Don't ignore it. Don't fear it. Dialogue with it. The shadow is not your enemy, but a guide leading you toward integration. Principle. When your own righteousness corners others. If you who wish to live quietly feel irritation or discomfort towards sociable, busy people, then there is a shadow within you too. For example, feelings like, "Why do they live so noisily? They must be losing themselves in all that noise." Within such judgments, a side of yourself that you unconsciously avoid is reflected. That might be the inner possibility of maybe it's okay to go out more freely. Maybe it's okay to engage with people more. 4. Embrace your shadow. Within it lies power you've yet to discover. Carl Jung. The shadow is the repressed version of yourself. While you may not be good at socializing, perhaps you actually wish to deeply connect with someone. While you may want to stay home, perhaps you also yearn to express something to the world. Acknowledging both sides that deepens and enriches the value of your silence. Shadow integration. The first step toward wholeness. So how should you face the shadow? The answer lies in 3 steps. Identify the shadow. Self-observation. Recognize your shadow through emotions you've denied or people you strongly dislike. Accept the shadow. Emotional permission. Don't deny the feeling. Give yourself permission to think it's okay to feel this way. Utilize the shadow practice of integration. Channel the energy and sensitivity within the shadow into new forms of expression or choice. For example, the shadow that fears loneliness can become a force that seeks essential human connection. The shadow that fears laziness reminds you of the sacredness of having your own rhythm. When you stop viewing the shadow as an enemy and start walking with it, your silence transforms into something freer, deeper, and more confident. In the next chapter, Shift to Power, we'll uncover practical ways to transform the essence of silence into your own personal power. When silence becomes power, the way of life you have chosen to stay at home. That very choice is now preparing to transform into the kind of power the world most needs. In a society that constantly drives outward, your posture of quietly turning inward is becoming a prototype, signaling the birth of a new value system. In this chapter, we will explain 3 concrete steps to transform silence into power. This isn't about spending time passively. It is about converting inner recharging into external creation. Step 1. Verbalize your inner values. The first important step is to put into words the value of the silence you feel. What does time spent at home mean to you? Try to express that in words. For example, in silence, I can connect with my inner emotions. In solitude, I regain my creativity. In quiet time, my true intuition awakens. By clearly verbalizing why you've chosen this style of life, you form a core that won't waver amidst the noise of society. The moment your inner voice is given words, it becomes a shield that protects you. C.G. Jung, putting it into words, isn't mere theory. It is the structure that guards your soul. Through this, you become less swayed by others' opinions, and the alignment between your inner and outer selves grows stronger. Step 2. Create from silence. Silence is not a destination, but a starting point. Don't stop at being satisfied with just spending time quietly. Shift your focus to what you can create from it, what you feel, what you think. By giving shape to those things, you cultivate your own power. For instance, writing in a diary dialogue with yourself, composing poetry or essays, expression of your inner world, taking photographs or drawing pictures, recording sensations, beautifying your space through cooking or interior design, harmonizing with your environment, growing plants a sensitivity that evolves with time. All of these are expressions of creativity born from silence. In an extroverted world, visibility and results tend to be praised, but Jungian psychology values meaningful expression. The soul is satisfied not by results, but by encountering meaning. C.G. Jung. The small world you create carries within it immense healing and truth. Before it is conveyed to others, it has the power to save yourself first. When you shape something, that quiet act becomes a precious silent gift to the world. Step 3. Become a presence that embodies silence. Finally, your silence becomes a presence of influence that lights the way for others. There's no need to persuade anyone. Simply by being quietly and genuinely yourself, your way of being sends a message to the world. There is another way to live. For example, become someone who listens without rushing. Become someone who understands emotions without needing words. Become someone who brings calmness to a space. Become someone who supports a team with quiet strength. In this way, your silence starts to hold silent influence. Jung said, influence is not given by speaking, but by being. By continuing to be yourself, you naturally create quiet ripples of change around you. Having come this far, you are no longer a lonely person. The power born within silence, you are now a bridge to share that with others. Summary: the way of life of protecting silence has long been misunderstood as a kind of weakness. But in truth, verbalizing inner values, creating from silence, becoming an influential presence through being. Those who can carry out all of these are truly strong and resilient individuals. The days you spend at home are not powerless. They are a place of power where no one interrupts you, where you heal others, and where future values are quietly nurtured. To your story of choosing silence, to you who have walked this path, first, my deepest respect. To stay at home is not just a simple choice. It is the courage to obey the voice of the unconscious and the power to face yourself without being swept away by external noise. Within this silence sleeps the true self you have yet to meet. You no longer need to conform to someone else's ideal. You no longer need to be caught up in the speed of the world. You have your own time, your own depth, and the sound of a bell that only you can hear. You can believe in yourself. You are someone who shines precisely within silence. There are companions here who revere silence. Please subscribe to the Wealthpsy channel and share your voice with us through likes and comments. Even the smallest realization is welcome. That one word might save someone else who also cherishes silence. How many of the 6 signs introduced earlier did you resonate with? Please let us know in the comments. Let's expand the circle of empathy with companions who value the same silence. Silence is my medicine. I can finally affirm my own rhythm. I wish I had seen this video sooner. Your voice will become a part of this community. And now, a preview of the next theme. Next time, we will explore the deep psychology of people who live by accommodating others. Why is it that we can't say no and end up sacrificing ourselves? Behind that, we'll delve into Carl Jung's persona theory and collective unconscious and present practical steps to reclaim your true feelings. If this preview resonates with you, be sure to tune in next time. Whenever you want to return to this silence, come back to the Wealthpsy channel. Your place is here.